crew members, new members. Before I go into detail, let's do a handheld tour of the situation so far on Deck 11, Phaser Fire Control. Let's go. So, in that short tour, you will have noticed this. It's a model of an FDNY fire truck, ladder 113. And this character here is Mr. Failing. He's the chief of damage control, and he's also a phaser control specialist. Now, the amazing thing about these two are that they are real. So ladder 113, here's the full-size real one, is a real in-service fire truck for the New York Fire Department, and Mr. Failing is actually a real firefighter. He's very kindly allowed me to share these photos of him and his crew actually. So thank you, Paul, for your bravery and service in the real world with the FDNY, and also for your support on Patreon. It's a great honour to have you on board the Enterprise as our Chief of Damage Control. Here are our two other phaser control damage control specialists, Mr. Ross and Mr. Robertson, also supporting on Patreon with crew quarters on board the ship. So not only am I building the entire USS Enterprise, it is also going to have a real crew. Alright, let's just have a look at a few of these details. Over here you can see these overhead screens, and there's actually only one here in place. These screens will be placed all around here, so you can just see the exposed lighting at the moment. And here are the panels for the cut-out screens that will be going on. There's one that's finished with some tactical information on there. So all these screens will be displaying tactical information about phaser targeting and photon torpedo stuff. Alright, now the escape turbo lift here that takes the crew in an emergency up to deck 10, and then they can escape along this corridor down to the main corridor, which will be on deck 10, and there's a portion of the main corridor there. So that will go all the way around deck 10 with the crew quarters of the phaser control and damage control specialists here. So they're close by deck 11 in case of emergencies. All these panels here that you can see, it really does look like a Starship under construction. So these panels here, I had to take them off this turbo lift shaft because I made a mistake in the height of the turbo lift. It was too high, so I had to make some adjustments on that. Let's just have a look at that escape route again. So they're going to come up here, and then they will go left and along this corridor here. Now this big wide open door, this big wide open area that you can see here, you can see it also has two large sliding red doors, and in an emergency those will close to seal deck 11 below. I'm really enjoying this because you know, as you know, I'm building the entire ship, so there are places all over the place that we never saw on the show. This area here will have, like, you know, the engineering style ladders leading down into the machine room or the function room on deck 11, and we just come around here. We just come around the chaos here. I think it actually looks really awesome under construction. Gives a feeling of a real ship being constructed. So we come around here, and this phaser power energy unit thing, I made this last night, and I'm very happy with it. There's a handrail. There will be ladders leading up. I'm not sure yet whether to use red ladders or yellow ladders. Let me know in the description. What should I use? Should they be red or yellow? Maybe the yellow ladders are for like inter-deck access, like we saw in the show, and the red ladders are just like for access up to these areas like this. Let me just show you a little bit about this. I want to convey the feeling, you know, like in the original show where we saw the warp engines and that kind of like strange glowing energy thing at the front of the nacelles. The buzzard collectors, which I think they're called now. You know, I love that because it gave the impression of inside those nacelles that there was some kind of intense energy thing going on, and it wasn't just like a, you know, a red flashing light or LEDs spinning. It was kind of, it had greens and purples in it, and it was all kind of all over the place. Which is what I'll tell you now. I'm not happy with this effect here. You know, it looks okay, but I feel as though it just still looks like some flashing lights inside. So I'm going to do something with that to make it look more kind of random and more, you know, whatever. So what I'm going to do, I'll show you the inside of this now, and I'll show you what it is. And it's actually super low tech lighting. I put this on it to diffuse it, to try and give it a more subtle effect. But inside, it's just bicycle lights, front and back bicycle lights flashing on and off. And like I say, I'm not entirely happy with that. And this is just a piece that slides down over the top. I'm not entirely happy with that because I still think it comes across pretty much like flashing lights, and I don't want that. I want something more more authentic, more believable. Just give you a shot of that from eye level, from the crew level there. And there's going to be 4 of these. So also notice the floor. I've given the floor a different colour so that it indicates that you're in a high energy area, and you know, got to be careful in there. So there's going to be 2 of these on both sides, and they are for the 3 phaser emitters on deck 11. I'll just show you that from above. So can you imagine 2 on one side and 2 on the other side? And then of course I'm going to build in the photon torpedo deployment, which, as I said in the previous video, you know, there's a big debate. There's 2 camps. Are the photon torpedoes pure energy weapons, or are they the caskets that we saw in The Wrath of Khan and The Search for Spock? I'm not getting involved in that. I personally have my own feelings about what the photon torpedoes are, and it's from what we saw on the original show. They look like energy weapons, energy pulses of energy being fired out. But like I say, I'm not getting into it. So the design I do for the photon torpedo storage and deployment, it will be applicable to either. So if you're a casket person, all good. If you're a photon torpedo energy person, that's all good too. I'm not getting involved in that. Nobody in the history of model making or in the history of Star Trek has ever built the entire USS Enterprise interior, ever. I'm going to do it, and I need your help. So come on, get behind the project, be part of it, support on Patreon, become a real member of the crew. Throw me a few dollars on GoFundMe, the links are in the description, okay? This is going to be epic. This will go in the Guinness Book of World Records. The biggest Starship model ever built. The finished model will be 40 feet long, 11 feet high, every deck from the bridge down to the storage cargo area on deck 24. The nacelles, the warp engines, are going to be longer than this apartment. Thank you so much to In the Verse Star Chronicles. They did a great feature on this project on their page. The link to their page is in the description. Go give them a visit. They do a really good job, and they bring a lot of traffic to YouTube actually, because most of the videos that they feature, or all of the videos that they feature that I've seen up to now, they are all links to YouTube videos of other artists, and they always credit the artists. So kudos to that. Thank you so much for your feature. See you soon with the next video. Bye for now.